Thank you for taking the time to view this short but important training. The training should only require approximately 5 minutes of your time. This training will discuss the role of enrollment staff at the school sites and how important it is to know and understand the home language survey as it relates to our English learner population. Please take a moment to review the acronyms that you will hear in this presentation and whenever Elpac may be discussed on your site. Elpac stands for the English Language Proficiency Assessment for California. EL is English Learner. ELP is English Learner Proficiency. HLS is Home Language Survey. IEP, Individualized Education Plan. TK is Transitional Kindergarten. SETC is the Site Elpac Testing Coordinators, and ELC is the English Language Coordinator. Enrollment packets at every site have variations. One common factor included in these packets is the Home Language Survey. This is a simple one-page survey that parents complete. If there is a language other than English on questions 1, 2, or 4 in any column, the student will need to be assessed with the initial Elpac. This is the mandated state test for determining English language proficiency. Depending on the outcome of that assessment, the student will be identified as Initially English Fluent Proficient, also known as IFEP, or English Learner EL. EL-identified students will take the summative Elpac annually until they are reclassified as English Proficient. So why do you as enrollment staff need to know about the Elpac or the Home Language Survey? Because you are the front line in the identification of EL students. Did you know that the Elpac is administered to students age 3 through 22? They must be enrolled in a traditional TK through 12 public school. Additionally, students enrolled in our state preschool programs automatically transition into a San Diego Unified TK classroom on their 5th birthday, which triggers their eligibility to be assessed with the initial Elpac. All students enrolled in our 12+ sites and alternative schools such as Trace, Garfield, and Home Hospital are all included in the Elpac assessment. When you are enrolling students with special needs, be sure to request if the parent has an existing IEP for the student. If an existing IEP exists, please look in the Special Factors page or the Team Action page to see if an alternate assessment has been identified. If so, please notify your site Elpac testing coordinator. If a child is being enrolled and does not have an IEP, also notify the site Elpac testing coordinator so they may assess with the standardized initial Elpac. So, why is the Home Language Survey so important? Because San Diego Unified School District enrollment staff do not access CalPads. We do not have the ability to find previous EL status of students. The Home Language Survey is the first indicator of a student being eligible for English language development services. The timeline for conducting the initial Elpac is 30 calendar days, that includes weekends, from the first day of enrollment and/or attendance. Without the enrollment record and the HLS being entered into PowerSchool, the SSID and the TBD status are not known or validated. Every day passes eats away at that 30-day timeline. You are the front line to ensuring our EL students are properly identified, assessed, and receive the proper supports and instruction they need to succeed. We all understand how extremely busy the start of the school year is. However, if you could take 1 or 2 extra seconds and scan the HLS for fields 1, 2, and 4 for any language other than English and place that file in a priority entry pile, it will benefit these students. If possible, copy the HLS at that time would be icing on the cake. Provide this via email, scan, or hard copy to the designated site Elpac coordinator so they can be aware of potential students that require the initial Elpac. These precious few minutes will benefit our EL students by providing them with the opportunity to assess and have necessary supports. More important tips for you. Once a student has been enrolled at your site, the site becomes responsible for the assessment of that student, even if they're enrolled for 1 day. So if the site does not assess the student, they remain the site's responsibility until another California public school enrolls that student. Every site is required to assess all 100% of identified EL students. Before no-show or dropping an EL student, verify with the site Elpac coordinator that all assessments have been conducted. If you still have questions about the Elpac and the Home Language Survey, please contact your designated site Elpac coordinator. If they are not available, the site ELD teacher or the multilingual education department should be able to assist. We appreciate your time and attention to this very important process.